Sziasztok! Hoztam nektek egy riportot arról, hogy miután Trump bejelentette, hogy az UFO és UAP-okkal kapcsolatos aktáknak elrendelte a nyilvánosságra hozatalát, utána a Newsnation egyik riportere megkérdezte Luis Elizondót, hogy miért nem hozták ezeket az aktákat hamarabb nyilvánosságra. Annyi megjegyzést még tennék a videóhoz, hogy 5 óra hosszába tellett a fordítás, az időzítés, és lehet, hogy vannak benne fordítási pontatlanságok.
Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
We know illegal.
First of all, here's my point. Why didn't it happen already? Okay? Trump then posted, based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant government agencies, departments, to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, and unidentified flying objects. Let's bring in the former director of the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, Lou Elizondo. Lou, good to see you, brother.
Always good to see you. Thanks for having me, Chris.
Now, I know I'm supposed to say, great, because we're going to get more transparency. Why didn't they do this already?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, it's a bit of a Pandora's box. We have known as a nation for over 80 years, 8 decades, that there are things flying in our controlled U.S. airspace, frankly, that we don't know what they are. Now, let me caveat this for a moment. Everything technically is a UAP or a UFO until it becomes identified, right? We call these TNO, temporary non-attributable objects, just like we saw with the Chinese spy balloon, we see with drone incursions quite routinely. Until you can identify what something is, it is, of course, always going to be unidentified. The problem is that we've also been dealing with some fairly sophisticated advanced technologies that does not appear superficially anyways to be our own technology and probably not foreign adversarial technology. So then the real question has to be asked, okay, if it's not ours and it's not theirs, then whose is it and what are we doing about it? And I think that's a much more difficult conversation to have. And certainly if the president is serious about this, which by the way, I applaud for any president to take charge of this topic, now the real hard work begins. This is not, people think, oh, we finally made it. We're there. We're getting truth and transparency. No, you just had a declaration that truth and transparency is going to be pursued. But there's a huge process, monumental process that has to be undertaken. And if you think the Epstein files right now are kind of a hard topic and subject to try to break free into the public sphere, you ain't seen nothing yet. This topic has a potential to eclipse that of the Epstein files simply because the government has been sitting on this information for so long. There's so much documentation now within our own holdings, within the intelligence community, within the defense communities, within the Department of Energy, that this is going to be a tremendous undertaking.
Look, it's not new. One of my favorite bands is called the Foo Fighters. And that's from World War II time. Nighttime pilots had unidentified things that different ones kept seeing. And they called them Foo Fighters based on some cartoon at the time. So it's not new. And we just dealt with it, Lou, in a very different context than if it's not ours and it's not theirs, who's it? They shut that airspace down over El Paso. And you and I know why. The cartels have drone technology. They've been working with China. And they are able to do things that we don't know how to counter. And it spooked us. And that's what I want to know about is what are we doing about this and why won't you tell us?
Right.
But I still go back to the original suspicion though, Lou. Biden didn't do this. Trump came in and said, I'll do it. And you and I were all excited. Trump then comes in and they don't do it. And now you think because he just said that he's going to do it, that something's going to change? Why should I believe it?
Well, I think, actions speak louder than words. I think if we start to see, for example, a bureaucracy that's beginning to align in this direction, for example, the establishment of an executive order from President Trump that says clearly and definitively, you will, by law, declassify XYZ. And if you start seeing, for example, a national intelligence estimate that is now being sponsored by the Director of National Intelligence, perhaps, and even perhaps some sections in the new National Intelligence Strategy that specifically start talking about the topic of UAP, then I think we can both agree that there's some real meaningful work being done behind this, and I do believe there's interest by members of the administration. I will say that there are individuals currently right now in the administration that are very keen in trying to get to the bottom of this. If you have private talks with people in Congress, a lot of these people will tell you themselves that they have witnessed extraordinary things that they cannot explain. Now, let me caveat that doesn't necessarily mean that each one of those is a UAP. But when you start to put the information together, me as a former investigator, when you start putting these data points together, you begin to realize you start seeing a pattern, and that's really where the value comes in all this. When you get a clear picture of what you're seeing, and you can then make the determination again that it is not ours and not foreign adversarial. Now, you bring up a great point, Chris, about drones. We saw with the New Jersey drone flap, right? The same issue. And by the way, in Colorado in 2019 and Nebraska, we had a similar event occur over the course of several weeks where law enforcement was involved. And at no time were we able to get or identify or retrieve a single drone, not one drone. Mm-hmm. And if you talk to the law enforcement, they'll tell you a lot of these things were not behaving like drones at all. And so that's what concerns me. If we have something in our skies,
listen, I'm with you.
We don't know what it is, and there's nothing we can do about it.
That's right.
That's a national security issue.
That's right. I mean, look, what's the explanation that the administration came out and gave us about what happened in El Paso? None. None. We just got distracted by Nancy Guthrie and other things, and people get fatigued. They don't want to talk about it anymore because they heard about it already. The president is trying to make a clever pivot right here because there's some things he doesn't want us talking about as much anymore either, and I understand that. Hopefully, we get some real transparency because I'm with you, Lou. I'm on Team Elizondo on this, and I'm pushing for transparency, and you're always welcome to do it here. All right, brother, be well, and thank you very much.
Take care. God bless.
Köszönöm, hogy megnézted a videómat. Ha tetszett a videóm, iratkozz fel a csatornámra, lájkolj, vagy írj kommentet, vagy közöld újra a videómat.